With Evercade, you can play over 600 games across more than 60 cartridges, and we've been continually releasing new collections for the platform since 2020. If you're new to Evercade, you might not have taken the time to explore some of the games that came out earlier in the system's lifespan, and if you're an experienced veteran, it might have been a while since you spent some time with these games. That's what our Highlight of the Month program is all about. Each month, we'll be picking out an individual game from our back catalogue and showcasing it directly from the Evercade menu. You can play the game for free, even if you don't own the cartridge it's on, until the next Highlight of the Month shows up. It's a chance to catch up on some titles you might have missed, or learn a bit more about some games you might not have played for a while, and it's a great opportunity for the community to all explore a game together at the same time. For December 2025, it's the turn of the Astyanax from Jaleco Arcade 1. This is an all-action side-scrolling platformer that was known as the Lord of King in Japan, and originally released to arcades in 1989. A version of the game was released for an 8-bit home console, and you can play that version on the Jaleco Collection 1 cartridge for Evercade, but interestingly there are some significant differences between the two, most notably in terms of the story. The game's title, the Astyanax, has been conjectured by some to be a reference to the character from Greek mythology, who was the son of Hector, the crown prince of Troy. But the actual narrative has little to do with Greek mythology. Good job for our hero too, since in several interpretations of the original Greek myth, the character named Astyanax meets various very unpleasant and violent ends while still in childhood. Instead, it's more likely that the name, particularly with the preceding definite article, is a reference to the word Astyanax's colloquial usage in ancient Greek, meaning High King or Lord of the City. This would certainly be more in keeping with the game's Japanese title. The Astyanax's main character is actually called Roche, though the game itself doesn't make any reference to this. Poor old player 2 doesn't get a name of their own, they simply play a recoloured version of Roche. The game's narrative is simple. Roche has received a divine revelation. He is destined to battle the evil demons and restore peace to the world. In order to accomplish this quest, he has been presented with the legendary Fire Axe, with which he can strike down his enemies and make use of magical spells. His mission will take him across 6 distinct stages: a forest, a cave, a lake, an elevator, a castle, and a mysterious final stage where the true evil mastermind is revealed. The Astyanax is straightforward to play, but an important mechanic to pay attention to is the power meter for Roche's axe. If you wait for the meter to power up fully, Roche's axe will be able to deliver a more powerful flaming strike. As you play the game, take note of which enemies can be easily defeated with a single weak strike, and which benefit from you waiting to power up. Also note that you can use the axe defensively. While standing, Roche swings the axe overhead, and this can hit enemies above and slightly behind him, as well as those directly in front of him. The axe can also destroy certain projectiles. As well as his fire axe, Roche also has access to thunder magic to use in desperate situations, though he cannot use this until he's collected at least one arrowhead symbol from smashing stone pillars that occasionally erupt from the ground. The more arrowheads Roche collects before casting the spell, the more powerful it'll be. The current power level of the spell is indicated on the status panel at the bottom of the screen, along with Roche's health and his axe power level. Stone pillars can also contain crystals, which are worth points, red orbs, which restore health, and shields, which can block several frontal enemy attacks before disintegrating. As an arcade game, the Astyanax presents a stiff challenge for action game fans, but you can customise your experience with the dip switch settings accessible via the ellipsis menu on the game information page. Interestingly, there aren't many ways to make the game easier other than increasing the number of lives you have per credit. If, however, you would like to make the game even more challenging, you can increase the score thresholds for earning extra lives and bump up the overall difficulty level. The Astyanax is a good example of what Jaleco brought to the arcades back in the 80s and 90s. Well-presented games with solid mechanics and a decent but fair challenge factor. Try the game for yourself with the Highlight of the Month version this December, then grab a copy to keep with Jaleco Arcade 1. And don't forget to give the 8-bit console variant a go with the Jaleco Collection 1 cartridge, since that differs quite significantly from this version. To get started with the Highlight of the Month program, just update your Evercade EXP, EXPR, VS, VSR or Alpha to the latest firmware version via the System menu, then navigate to the EXP, VS or Star logo on Evercade Alpha on the left side of the main menu and access it from there. Please note that save states made while playing the Highlight of the Month version of the Astyanax will not carry across to the cartridge version, and vice versa.